In this video, we're going to look at the ear and the eye. Firstly, we'll start with the ear. In the following diagram, we're going to look at the different parts that make up the ear. So first part we have is the outer ear, which is the bit that you can see from outside the body. Next we have the auditory canal, the eardrum, the first bone of the ear, which is called the hammer, the second bone, which I've coloured in blue, which is the ambule, and the third bone, which I've coloured in yellow, is the stirrup. And these three bones together are called the auditory bones. You also have the cochlea, the auditory nerve, and the Eustachian tube. So, how does it all work? We'll first start with your outer ear. This channels sound waves into your ear. So sound waves come in as vibrations and they are channeled along the auditory canal. Once they pass through the auditory canal, the eardrum vibrates when sound waves hit it. So I've coloured that in blue there to show vibrations. The eardrum is attached to the hammer, ambule and stirrup, which are the auditory bones. The vibrating eardrum makes the little bones, the auditory bones in your ear, vibrate as well. This is at the same frequency as the waves that are coming in. These vibrations then move into the cochlea, which convert them into electrical impulses. So you get vibrations converted into electrical impulses. And then these electrical impulses are passed along the auditory nerve. The brain then interprets these as sound. You'll notice that in none of these parts I have mentioned the Eustachian tube. That's actually responsible for pressure within the ear. So when you're on a flight and your ear pops, it is the release of pressure along this tube. It connects to the oral cavity or the mouth. The next piece that we're going to look at is the eye. So, sclera is the outer section of the eye. Then we have the lens, the iris, the pupil, the cornea, and in dark red I've coloured them is the ciliary muscles, and in the green I've coloured them suspensory ligaments. I've also in yellow is the retina. A little dip, it's kind of hard to see, in the retina is called the fovea. And then you have the blind spot, the optical nerve, and that is the main part. So, the first part that we need to talk about is the tough outer layer, which is called the sclera. So this is at the front of the eye. This becomes transparent, called the cornea. So usually that white colour is the sclera, and the transparent or the see-through bit in the front of the eye is the cornea. Behind the cornea is a coloured ring called the iris. So this is actually your eye colour. So when you have blue, green, that is the iris, that is the colour there. In the middle of the iris, so that black dot in the eye, we call the pupil, and it is here where light passes through. You also have a lens in your eye, and the lens is responsible for converging light to the fovea, or anywhere really along the retina, but particularly the fovea. So here I've drawn light rays coming in, they get bent by the lens to a particular point, which is the fovea. The reason for this is that it is helped by ciliary and suspensory ligaments, but the reason why you wanted to converge to the fovea is this is the optimum place for image formation. The ciliary and suspensory ligaments, they help change the shape, or they stretch and squish the lens to help focus it on the retina or the fovea. So by stretching the lens or squishing it a little bit, moves the where the image is formed. The back of the eye is called the retina, and this is a light sensitive layer on the eye. So that's the yellow section. And here light energy is converted to electrical energy, and it contains two important things. They're called rods and cones. They're found on the retina. Rods work well with dim light and produce images in black and white. Cones work well in bright light and produce coloured images. Cones are found in concentration in an area called the fovea. So when you have dim light, your rods will help form an image in front of you, and this is why we often struggle to see colours in dim, dark lit areas. So that would be your rods that would be trying to interpret an image. The cones are, however, responsible for more bright light, so your daylight, and form images with bright colours. Rods and cones produce impulses via sensory neurons, so they're receptors, and travel to the brain along the optic nerve. So they send a message to the brain as electrical impulses that can be interpreted as an image. However, where the optical nerve actually attaches to the eye, so that section where it's attached to the eye, there is no rods and cones on it. Therefore, there is no image formed in the blind spot. So that section there that is covered by the blind spot, there is no image formed. And that is the main function of the eye.